I don't know if I want to talk about the TOS drama because, if anything, it just puts a target on your back.
I was actually going to bring that up.
Honestly,
but, I don't know if you don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to force you guys to talk about it.
I don't mind talking about it. I feel like the opinion that I have is a very I don't know. I feel like it's a very standard opinion. Or it's a very I don't know. I don't think you can really argue against it. The kind of it's like you don't have to be involved if you don't want to in the conversation.
No, I've just got one statement that I say, and that's sort of like it's like to me it's just fact, it's truth. But like
the only thing I think okay, so in case someone lives under a rock, someone lives under a rock, Twitch decided they wanted to start enforcing their TOS on like clothing with VTubers, and like pretty much and they included Vrchat in that VTuber bracket, right?
Vrchat used to have like a special exclusive rule for them where they were a bit
sort of, yeah, but they didn't specifically. It was never specified, and everyone kind of just assumed they had a specific rule for them, right?
Yeah.
It was never specified or enforced, and then they started talking about how it is now enforceable, and it is now thing, which everyone should have known it was enforceable already, because it's like you're just doing a VTuber in
it's common sense
Vrchat, so it's like you probably should have known it's enforceable. I don't think anyone knew about the butt thing, like a little bit of like butt hanging out, but everyone knew about the underboob shit. Like everyone already knew about that. I think the butt thing's a little weird because it's like it's kind of like I don't know, for like a avatar, like an anime character, it's kind of like it looks normal to have a little bit of cheek out. I don't know.
People don't realize it's fine if that area is like if you're in a bikini. If you're underwater, if your butt is underwater, it's usually fine because it's got the ripples to censor it. But yeah,
I mean, even out, like it's like it doesn't look that bad. Honestly, I feel like if someone's freaking out about that, it's I don't know, it's kind of weird. But they started enforcing all that, and then a bunch of Vrchat streamers started commenting to like Twitch support on Twitter and shit, saying like, "Hey, this is unfair," and a bunch of people got banned. So they were all like complaining that, "Hey, this is unfair," because it's like this is what we've been doing for like forever. So it's unfair that you're now enforcing the rules on us and we're all getting banned because Vrchat is like, it's like, oh, Vrchat's different. It shouldn't be held to like the same things as VTubers, which is weird because it should be held to the same thing as VTubers.
Yeah.
But
it's a human form.
I think what's weird is Twitch decided to add their content filtering, right? And because they allow that sort of so the Twitch then reversed the rule. Actually, I didn't finish it. Twitch then reversed the rule, and they then allowed Vrchat to have the same rules as pools and hot tubs, right? Which they have already, they already have a category that's exclusively allowed to have lighter restrictions on clothing, right?
Yeah.
So then they just make Vrchat similar to that category, right? So anything that you would be able to wear in pools and hot tubs, you can now wear in Vrchat, right? So that kind of makes sense because it's like pools and hot tub is
it's
like
a category. Yeah, it's
a category, and it's like, oh, it's obvious that you're going to be seeing people a bit more skimpily dressed, and then Vrchat's like they're going like, oh, well, see, since it's Vrchat, everyone who's going there knows that what's it called? Everyone who's going to Vrchat knows that you're going to see some lightly sexual content, or maybe you see a bit of a skimpy clothing, so it's fine. The thing is,
Also,
though,
add in the fact that most people tag it correctly in those.
Yeah, most people tag it correctly. I'm going to get to the tags in a bit. The thing with like that though is that restricts advertisements on VRChat streams, and people who aren't doing stuff that's like skimpy or they're following the ToS things, they're still going to get fucked because advertisers are going to see that VRChat category is like that, is like pools and hot tub, and just ignore it. You know, they're just going to be like, okay, well, we're ignoring it now.
I don't know if Twitch's ads thing is robust enough to like dispense between the categories. It is. For categories, it does. It does. 100% does. It 100% does between categories.
But the weird thing is, this whole like tagging thing that they introduced, the content filtering and the thing, that should have been the original way that they should have done it, because VTubers should be able to be exempt from the thing as well, because it doesn't make sense that VTubers aren't allowed to show off if they want to and the content is tagged correctly, because they have a content filtering system now for it. The only reason that Twitch doesn't want to do that is because it would restrict advertisers for like 90% of VTubers, right? Like, there is so many VTubers who have like that tiny part, like they have what's it called? They have underpants that may be a bit too skimpy, so they will need to change it. Like, I actually think it would be like most VTubers, honestly.
There are a bunch of VTubers who have been banned for just having a little too much under booba and stuff like that.
Well, under boob's always been like a thing that they've gone against, but this underwear thing is like, they want people wearing grandma underwear, like, or like covering that kind of area, you know? So it's like, I don't know. They added the tagging system, and it's like, they added that, and that should have been sufficient for people to have the same rule, like the same attire as hot pools and hot tubs.
Yeah.
But that apparently isn't sufficient because Twitch doesn't want people taking their ads off content that's tagged like that. So instead, they're just going to relegate VTubers and fucking like pools and hot tubs and shit into their own category that doesn't get advertisements, you know? Not doesn't get advertisements, but gets not as many advertisements, and from like a less appealing advertisement space, so probably cheaper advertisements go there, you know? Like, it's just how it's gonna go, which is not a good thing. Like, I don't know, it's stupid. Twitch needs to make money, I get it, but also like,
it's dumb that 2D VTubers don't have the same freedoms that a 3D VTuber can in VRChat.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, I mean,
even though it's not a category specific thing for VRChat, it's like it's not like VRChat.
VTubers
like,
can be
there's no
anywhere,
other reason
anytime.
besides
Any category.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not restricted. VRChat is restricted to VRChat. Once you're not playing VRChat and you're using the model for anything else, even if you're in VRChat, it's counted as a VTuber.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But that's the thing. It should be that content can be restricted. Well, it does get restricted, but like apparently that restriction isn't strong enough, and they're trying to like not have advertisers take off ads for certain restrictions and shit, because you have like a VTuber. Maybe the VTuber plays like, I don't know, what's some fucking kids game?
Minecraft.
Fucking yeah, you have a VTuber playing Minecraft, right?
Tits are out and everything. Like
they have like a really sexual outfit, which people who are watching VRChat probably aren't the same, or shouldn't be the same age as people watching Minecraft, right? But that's what the content filtering should be for. They should be putting the content filtering on to restrict someone from having a sexual avi in a category that could be being viewed by kids. That's what the content filtering is for. But Twitch wants people to be like, wants VTubers to cover up enough that they don't put that content filter on, and they what's it called? And that maybe that even that content filter is not even like taken as seriously as something like, oh, well, VR chat category is really bad, but that content filtering isn't that bad. You know, they're like, oh, sexual content. Well, at least even with sexual content, they're only showing like, you know, they're only showing like modest clothing. They just, it's so stupid. Twitch is just doing advertisements. I get it. They need to, because Twitch is actually not making enough money, but it's like, I don't know. It feels really weird when it's like they added systems and they're not using them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why even add the systems if you weren't going to use the systems? Like,
so
I don't know.
As a disclaimer on this first bit is, for me, I agree it should be a blanket rule across VR chat and VTubing. It's a blanket rule. It should just work for both. But being said, VTubers can use any category. VTubers decide not to use the appropriate tags, so they're more likely to get banned. A majority of VTubers, actually, that have very scantily clad and whatnot avatars decide not to have adult themes or anything like that. They also, a lot of them like to talk about sexual things in some way or description, which is also another tag that you have to tick, which doesn't blur your thing. So that's two tags that you are now not appropriately titling your like thing with. And then also, I think Twitch has worded everything wrong in a way that, like, which they always do, is the fact that the way that Twitch sees it is VTubing is just a different version of face camming. You can't just have your tits out on a face cam. Just like how VTubing, you can't just have your tits out, right? So it's just like, that's the way that they see it. Even though that's not fair completely. Still. It's just like, because I'm going... unfortunately, the VTubing space for me is just, it's always just, it's majority, it's 80 to 90% drama. That's all it is. Drama and clout. The other issue is a lot of the time the VTubers that get done by the bannings is, I'll give you a good hint. One recently got banned because they had a body cam on. They had a IRL face cam on. Showing their body in lingerie. And guess what? Their VTuber is in the same type of lingerie with basically their entire breasts, except for their nipples shown. And they're like, oh, I got banned. Oh, this is unfair. How come VR chat? It's like, shut the fuck up. You know exactly what you're doing. You're doing this because you get banned. Does the clip shows that gets shown of you being banned is basically you naked? You just made 300 viewers. You know this is what you're doing this on purpose. A majority of them are doing it on purpose, and a majority of VTubers are now going over VR chat because they want the views or they want the high value viewers and not the amount of views, right? Because they know that's where the money is. I don't care what anyone says. It's
okay. I'm back.
I do agree. It should just be a blanket rule, but they're just being very picky with how they want to complain about the very specifics things, when in reality it's like...
I think they should specify.
VR chat is its own category, you know, and all that. And Twitch, again, this isn't VR chat's fault. This isn't VTuber's fault. It's Twitch. Twitch, it's Twitch's fault.
I think the content filtering should just be, they should have a specific thing that says, like, I will be wearing, like, clothing that is pools and hot tub standards. Like what they should have that sort of, they should have that category as a specific thing, and that should restrict a lot of people from viewing the stream to the extent of whatever you would think, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they also should probably emphasize that, yes, that would probably reduce ad revenue.
Well, it's also the fact that, like, if you are going to complain about the tag and about the blurring, it's like, and like, not blurring so much. If you're going to complain about your, like, the problem is VTubers and everyone was complaining for the longest time. I see tits on my timeline. I see this on the stream timeline. Like, it sucks. And now people are complaining about Twitch actually having an actually okay system that blurs stuff now.
Yeah.
Which is very easy to implement, by the way. It's just like, now they're complaining about that, and it's like, there's some people that are complaining that they're seeing tits, and it's like, you literally have, like, it's on by default. You literally have to go into your settings, into your content preferences, and then untick the blur sexual themes. Like, you have to manually do that. So if you're still complaining that you're seeing tits on the timeline, you fucking did that just for clout. Go fuck yourself. Like, and unfortunately, you know, and if it's a glitch, then, you know, it's a glitch. Sorry, you know, then go and tick it. If you're not if you're going to be ignorant and not bother going through your own settings to make sure stuff that you don't want to see is ticked or whatever, then you can't blame anyone else. You're just being dumb.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I was late for my bus. It's like, did you even check for the times? No. Okay. You didn't.
No.
Yeah. I generally agree with what you're saying, Sooky, is that, like, if I think everyone should have the same freedoms that people who stream in VR chat do, in regards to how they dress, and that's kind of silly that's blocked off to just VR chat. But I also kind of it's just a weird way for Twitch to go about it, I guess.
It's just the literal, like, only hours of, like, and they U-turned on their decision was the stupidity. Again, it's like, it's VTubers fighting VR chatters, even though it's not either side's fault. Yeah. It's Twitch's fault. The issue being, right, is like, me myself, right, when I was streaming on the weekend, Aki came in and was like, you know, you're in the pool right now. This is when the first rule set was put out, right? And was like, you should probably switch over to pools. Even though I'm in VR chat, I should probably switch over to pools. And guess what? I am fine with doing that. I'm fine with doing that if I'm in a pool in a bikini and I do that for VR chat. I'm fine with switching category for that, because then it's like, I'm following rules. I'm doing the right thing, right? I don't mind doing that. I don't mind there being a blanket rule of VR chat and VTubers should be held to the same standard of clothing, attire, and, like, you know, sexual stuff or whatever, right? Again, like Soap said, there's a reason why there's a filter there. Like, use it. So the rules should be a little bit more lax when it comes to that, because guess what? Sexual themes means sexual themes, which means, like, you know, you're going to see a little bit more skin, you're going to see a little bit of underboob, you're going to see this or that or whatever, right? It's one of those things where I think what they need to do, and this is when you have a system like this in place, unfortunately, you're gonna have to add extra steps to it. So I think what should happen is there should be, like, a 2-step verification thing of, like, oh, you are actually old enough to tick this to unblur shit or whatever, or to watch these streams or whatever. The issue with that being a thing, though, is if data gets leaked, Twitch can get sued, because everyone's IDs, like, you know, secret VTubers that want to remain anonymous get leaked as well. Like, it's just like, there's all this other extra shit. That's why VR chat doesn't do it as a thing, like with verifying, right? It's just like, there's so much stuff that can go wrong, especially on the internet, evolving each day, that it's very hard to police when it comes to that. And it's unfortunate. Someone always get the short end of the straw, no matter what. And this time it's VTubers.
Siel is typing?
Holy fuck, Siel, that typing is loud.
There you go.
Siel doing the chatting emote IRL.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it's one of those things too where it seems like a lot of VTuber watchers are hating on VR chat streamers and mass spam reporting certain VR chatters, causing them to get banned, even though the VR chatters are well within the realms of following the rules of what have been set for them.
No,
basic.
A lot of them
You've been
are.
doing for years.
A lot of VR chatters are not well within. I don't know.
No, or some of them that have been banned have been. It's obvious spam report. Because the only thing they've been doing is like being properly attired with the proper tags and everything, and then also all they're doing is swaying side to side and talking to the chat. They're not actually getting up in the camera, fucking the camera or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's the thing with VTubers, right? You're gonna get the fanatic viewers and fans. This is originally why I didn't really want to say anything, because you say anything against VTubers and you crucify yourself, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything's against VTubers here. This is more.
That's why I said.
I think it's.
Yeah, again, I agree. It's against Twitch, and I agree that it should be blanket statement. VTubers, VR chatters, whatever. It is a representation of the human form.
I don't think
it should be enforced the same.
I don't think it's. I don't think it should be necessarily just a blanket statement. I think it should be the content filtering should be done correctly. I know Twitch will take a hit from ads if they have those content filtering actually affect clothing. Like, I don't think they actually have a thing that says, "Oh, it's a category wise." It's category wise that they have the clothing at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like the clothing shouldn't be category wise. The clothing should be the content warning things. I feel like that should be the. That should be where Twitch.
Twitch has never been good at like explaining anything or putting extra words on shit, though. Like, we know this.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, yeah.
The other thing is too, right? They don't realize they open up the options for, like you're saying, you know, the ads. They reduce the ads with that content filter, right, or whatever. But then that opens up avenues of they could get sponsors or ads from places that do more adult stuff.
That's the thing, they don't want to do those because you can't mix those ads onto the site with the other ads, because then those other ads aren't. The other advertisers are going to be like, I don't want to be advertised next to a dildo, you know, or I don't want to be advertised next to condoms.
Like that'd only happen if they've got the adult filter anyway. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't have their ad on anyway.
Well, not necessarily.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Is it would only show up. Yeah,
I know what you're saying, but I don't think that's necessarily.
They're not going to differentiate it. Okay, yeah.
No, I don't think they would differentiate it as much. I feel like you'll have someone who has like
that's fair.
Every content filter just on. Like some advertiser doesn't like care that much, but then they'll see that their thing's coming up next to something that's like kind of explicit or
that's a penis.
Maybe they're like, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, chatting again.
It's more so the fact that advertisers are fucking very tight, fucking knit idiots. More than anything.
Exactly.
They're a bunch of
picky idiots.
They just need to give a little bit more room. You know what I mean? They need to be a bit more flexible. Like, it's like, oh, we won't have our ads shown on this adult when they have the adult category on or the adult filter on.
Yeah,
so then it's not the side. They should be fine with that, but they aren't. We know how it works.
It's just it's literally just that Twitch doesn't want to let VTubers use that to that rule to they don't care about VRChat because VRChat's such a small category when compared to all VTubers. They want all VTubers to follow the clothing rules, so they don't have to have a tag that says they're in the same category as like VRChat and
the as some people call it, the quarantine area, like VRChat.
They don't want them to get as quarantined as that. Yeah. Yes, they don't mind if they get quarantined a little bit, but like not enough that they don't get normal advertisers, you know, or like not normal.
Yeah,
they don't get standard ones.
I want an opinion. So I was talking to some friends about this, and I was just saying, what if Twitch added subcategories as a thing, right? So, like, if you're a VTuber, you'd have the VTuber subcategory or whatever. If you want, like, it's just an additional thing you can't add. They have tags, but tags don't really have like, I don't know.
Not anymore.
They don't really do much.
They're not concise anymore. But the tags used to be concise. Then they removed the conciseness of the tags.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like subcategories should be a thing, if anything. So then, like, you have Minecraft VTuber, like So then it's like, it's like a little bit more. It's like, oh, this is an adult stream. Like, it's not so much sexual. It's just like, it's literally an adult. They don't want anyone below the age of 18 anyway in the chat. Like,
that's how I want my
no one
fans.
wants anyone below the age. Yeah, exactly. So it's like having that extra whatever, or even like got subcategory 18 plus, or VTuber, or IRL, like, or like clubbing, or whatever. Like, you got all these different things that you could potentially do. Because you could also do a just chatting could instantly be changed to a subcategory instead of a category. Because you go VR chat, just chatting, or whatever, And then you got gaming as a subcategory instead, or art as a subcategory, or ASMR as a subcategory for whatever else you're doing, right? Like, it's instead of it being a category.
I don't know. I feel like Twitch is trying. They are definitely trying to what's it called?
They're just so bad at it.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. They're trying their hardest, but they don't. Maybe not the hardest. They're trying hard to get. They're trying hard to make sure they don't have too much restrictions on their creators, while also trying to make enough money to continue, because Twitch is not profitable. It is still not profitable. So it's like they still need to make money. But like, how do you get advertisers, and how do you make money while fucking like letting people have free reign? Like, you can't. You need to make those restrictions because advertisers are forcing it upon them, so they actually can advertise. But Twitch is trying. I don't like the idea that Twitch is just doing it to like fuck over people. Twitch is trying to stay alive while also trying to let creators do the work. I don't think people at Twitch actually give a shit whether or not someone is like almost nude or whatever.
It's just comical how much they fuck it up every time. Like,
yeah, it's just, well, they're just testing the waters every single time. Like, they're just trying to see if they can get shit to work. It's like, I don't know. You see someone like the CEO, even the CEO. You see someone like him, and he seems to not care if people are wearing whatever they want, But like, it's just what's the thing? It's just like, I don't know. It's, how do I explain it? It's like Twitch doesn't really care whether you have a certain attire or not. It's that their advertisers care, and they have to appease the advertisers to some extent.
Yeah, which is completely understandable. I do get it. It's just unfortunate that it's more so that advertisers just don't allow for flexibility. It's really annoying.
Hey.
What happened? What I know a lot of there's a couple of advertisers. Gamersup's is one. Manscaped is another one, and there's a few others that are like really fucking lax and really chill and like pretty funny. I wish more advertisers were like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of advertisers also need to. I think that's the biggest issue, is that advertisers need to realize that your fucking ad coming up in front of a stream is not going to like. It's not going to. People aren't going to think, oh, you agree with that. It's different if you're on a whole different site, advertising a different site. Like, if Coca-Cola pops up on a VR chat stream, I'm not going to think, oh, Coca-Cola supports VR chat streamers, right? But if Coca-Cola comes up on like fucking, I don't know, Pornhub, I'm like thinking, oh, Coca-Cola supports Pornhub. Coca-Cola supports Twitch in my mind if Coca-Cola pops up on Twitch. Like,
well, I always see it as it's an ad, right? That's all I see it. It's just an ad currently on whatever platform I'm watching. I never attribute it to anything.
Well, the ad company has to seek out the platform, but like the specific content on the platform, I feel like that does not matter. like if all the content is a specific thing, if they were advertising on Live Leak, I would be a little bit concerned because I'd feel like they endorse Live Leak. It's if the general content is all the same on the platform, yeah, I get it. But if it's like a streaming platform, generally a streaming platform, I feel like it's kind of like I don't know. I feel like they just think it's like it's a streaming platform. I don't think they're specifically like advertising over like fucking I don't know, advertising because they like fucking fat Vrchat titties. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, so are you leaning back in your chair?
No, I'm laying in my bed.
You're laying on the ground.
All right, wrapped it up. Stream's over. Soap's on the ground.
Soap on the ground for today.
For today.
But
I
yeah.
saw someone ping me, but I didn't get to read what the ping was because I'm here.
It was Nay saying the soap leaning back in the chair segment.
Yep.
No, I'm laying in my bed. Laying in my bed, so